the night, Luka said, "I came here to win rings, not babysit anyone." Something inside the Lakers cracked, and it wasn't just a quote. It was a declaration of war. While fans were still processing the 124-112 loss to the Sacramento Kings on January 13th, 2026, the real explosion was unfolding in the tunnel. And this is the part nobody expected. According to multiple insiders, a heated altercation broke out between Rich Paul and Austin Reeves' agent, Reggie Berry, over what many are calling a power move designed to protect one player at all costs, Bronny James. But stay with me, because this goes way deeper than one bad loss. The tension that night was suffocating. Witnesses described security scrambling as Rich Paul, the architect behind so many league-shifting deals, squared up with Berry, who represents a rising star on the brink of a potential 200 million max extension, and Berry wasn't there for small talk. He believed Paul was positioning Austin Reeves as trade bait, not for basketball reasons, but to preserve minutes for Bronny. Think about that. A legitimate core piece, possibly moved to protect a developmental project. If you follow the Lakers closely, hit like right now, because what happened next might define the franchise for years. But here's where things get interesting. The agents clashing in the tunnel. That was only the surface. Behind the locker room doors, an even bigger confrontation was brewing. LeBron James and head coach JJ Redick allegedly had their own blow-up. And it traces back to a silent agreement that began months earlier. To understand why grown men were nearly throwing hands in a stadium hallway, we have to rewind to November 15th, Lakers versus Bucks. On paper, it was a huge win. Luka Doncic dropped 41 and carried the team to victory. But the box score lied. Bronny James started that game. 10 minutes, 0 points, 0 impact. And when he shared the floor with Luka, the net rating plummeted to -4.2 in a game they won. That stat tells you everything. The Lakers weren't winning with Bronny. They were winning despite him. Now pay close attention. Insiders say JJ Redick snapped that night. He reportedly screamed at Bronny to shoot the ball before benching him for the rest of the game. And that moment shattered a rumored understanding that Bronny would get developmental minutes alongside Luka, regardless of performance. A project disguised as a title push. But when the Bucks began targeting Bronny possession after possession, Redick chose winning over politics. And Luka? He went rogue. In a post-game interview, he didn't sugarcoat it. "I came here to win rings, not babysit anyone." That wasn't just frustration. That was a message to the entire organization. "If someone needs development," he said, "send them to the Gill." That comment split the locker room into factions overnight. LeBron, sidelined with sciatica at the time, reportedly went full defensive mode. This wasn't just about minutes. This was about control. Suddenly, the narrative shifted from basketball to leverage. According to league chatter, Rich Paul responded not by defending Bronny directly, but by subtly attacking the one teammate Luka genuinely connected with Austin Reeves. On his podcast, Paul referred to Reeves as an asset, not a cornerstone, and floated a scenario involving a trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. to fix the defense. That wasn't random analysis. It was pressure. A calculated signal: fall in line, or your ally might disappear. Imagine the psychological game being played. Luka, in his prime, leading the league at 33.6 points per game, yet barely hovering around go ahead, and now potentially losing his closest teammate over politics. What happened next changed everything. The roots of this fracture go back even further. February 1st, 2025. The day the Anthony Davis for Luka trade became reality. According to reports from Yaron Weitzman's book, players were supposed to hear the news directly from the front office. Instead, Bronny reportedly dropped the Shams tweet into the team group chat. "Imagine being Anthony Davis. You delivered a championship. You anchored the defense. and you find out you're traded through a group chat notification sent by a rookie who happens to be your teammate's son. Davis' reported response was icy disbelief. For 2 decades, LeBron has been the sun in every solar system he's entered. But suddenly, the spotlight shifted. And if you think ego doesn't matter at this level, think again. Back in 2020, LeBron tried to build Team LeBron under Nike's umbrella. He wanted Luka as the face. Luka declined and signed with Jordan Brand instead. That decision, LeBron later admitted, would haunt him. Fast forward to 2026, and Luka is dominating in Los Angeles wearing the Jumpman logo. Every step back three isn't just 2 points. It's a reminder. There was even a moment in November 2025 where Luka extended his hand for a simple low 5 after a whistle, and LeBron ignored it. Not by accident, by choice. 5 years of bruised pride in one frozen gesture. So when you see LeBron's usage rate drop to a career low 28%, understand what that symbolizes. It's not just fewer touches. It's a shift in power. And LeBron has never been a sidekick. Meanwhile, Charles Barkley publicly said the team needs to be turned over to Luka and Austin. That statement hit hard, because being the highest paid third option in sports history isn't a comfortable position, especially when your son's rotation spot is being questioned daily. And we still haven't talked about the group chat message that insiders say confirmed this was never just about basketball. The one that allegedly revealed how deeply orchestrated Bronny's path was. That leak didn't just anger Luka. It made him feel betrayed. So here's the real question. Is this about development, legacy, control, or survival? Because when a franchise starts operating like a family business instead of a championship machine, fractures aren't optional. They're inevitable. The Lakers aren't just fighting opponents anymore. They're fighting with him, Team Luka versus Team Clutch. Veterans quietly choosing sides. Agents battling in tunnels. And a superstar in his prime questioning whether this organization truly aligns with his DNA. A player who turned pro at 13, who clawed his way up without shortcuts. If this tension escalates, someone is getting moved. And it won't be quietly. So I want to hear from you. Is Luka justified for pushing back? Or is this the cost of sharing a locker room with one of the most powerful figures in NBA history? Drop your take in the comments, because this isn't just drama, it's a power struggle that could reshape the league. And if you think January 13th was chaotic, just wait, because if Luka decides he's done playing along, the next move won't happen in a tunnel. It'll happen on the trade block. And when it does, the entire NBA will feel it.